And welcome back to more A Hat in Time. Last time we finished up Mafia Town, which only took, what, 19 videos to actually just finish the first chapter in the game. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. And this time we're officially beginning Chapter 4, Alpine Skyline, which is actually a pretty cool chapter, albeit really complicated at parts. So, it's such a nice view. Like, it's one of those levels that's just kind of inviting to look at visually. So we're gonna start with the old windmill, which is along the blue path. So almost every one of these will have a couple little small sections before you even get to the main part. So, for example, we will actually be going left here. Wait, not left. Never mind. But I think we need to actually go through a different path slightly. We have one horn here to actually get us up to the windmill proper. So, let us get up there. Shouldn't be too bad. This is actually one of the harder levels. It's like pure platforming, no frills. So actually there are frills. Never mind. There are actually quite a few frills, and I actually like this one, but it is very challenging to do on your first run, and I totally cheesed it on my first playthrough, and I'll say how when we get to the part that I cheesed. It's such a weird word, and I don't know where that comes from. I have read where it comes from, and I think it came from like a Street Fighter terminology. Cheese as a verb in a gaming sense, but like I don't remember the exact backstory. I guess that would be the word. Yeah, this is just a very nice place. Nice scenic view, nice atmosphere, and that's a thing this game does have in spades is atmosphere, because you know obviously this game doesn't have the best graphics, but the art style and art direction give it its sense of atmosphere. That's like the best way I can think to describe it. It's kind of a weird way to describe it, not exactly specific, but yeah, that's the best I can come up with. So we opened up a little branch in the path, so we actually need to go back to Goat Village, I think is the name of this place. By the way, this place is hard on the frame rate on console. If you have played this on PC, I would actually be interested to know if this is hard on the frame rate there too, because I know someone who couldn't actually run this level. Like, the game would crash every time they tried to run it on like a low-end PC. So, I am a little bit curious to know if this is just an inherently difficult area to render. Honestly, it's kind of interesting to me because I feel like the game's draw distance isn't super impressive at certain parts on console, but this is a place where the draw distance is actually consistently pretty good, and I find it a little bit probably, I find it to probably be the case of why the frame rate's a little choppy at parts, is just the draw distance is ridiculous. Even then, you have a lot of, what's the word? Not distance fog, per se. Depth of field, I think is the term I'm looking for. But yeah, you have a lot of depth to that. So, okay, that's ominous. We'll be coming back here later because I think one of the time rifts might be here, but I'm actually not sure. Not quite, but there are cats here that try to steal your stuff. They'll steal your hat and then you can't use abilities, and that sucks. But also pawns. Not that we need pawns, because we technically have more than we ever needed. Case in point, they sold the mask. Then they turn invisible. And then they're just kind of annoying to fight. Like, this is legit my least favorite enemy in the entire game, just because I find them really difficult to avoid. Like, there's no really good strat to actually avoid them. And they're just kind of difficult to deal with. So that opens up another branch in the previous branch to the actual windmill. Curly Tail Horn Trail. That rhymes rather nicely. Again, I don't know if that counts collectibles when it says it's completed. Because I've had times where it's like, oh, there's still a collectible here, even though it says it's completed. It's weird. Again, this game doesn't really track collectibles that meticulously, so 100% requirements are actually super lax. And that's kind of nice as a completionist, that the requirements for 100% are actually pretty easy on the player. Doesn't make you do a bunch of extra stuff like collecting every piece of yarn, every rift token. Actually, a couple completion bonuses were removed on console. I guess for getting all timepieces, you get a special hat on PC now, but that hasn't been implemented into console yet. I'm still waiting on the console patch, by the way. It's been 4 months. But this is the windmill. I kept saying the old windmill, but this just says the windmill, so never mind. Did not read what that kid was saying. Oh shoot. Did not have enough distance for that. Or height, probably. You gotta kind of release at the top of the swing, sort of. For maximum height. Physics and all that. But yeah, I will say this is probably the longest one. And I can't guarantee collecting everything just because, quite frankly, we don't need a ton of collectibles now. There are a couple hats I would actually like to get. By the way, you're supposed to use that little platform. You can actually just do this jump there if you don't screw it up. But I actually kind of meant to screw it up because I forgot this over here. So here, what you need to do is go up like this and then use the Dweller's Mask. This might take 2 videos, by the way. This is okay. I actually looked away for a second because I got a notification. And then I looked back and the screen's like all gray for some reason. I'm like, okay, makes sense. I think this is Unreal Engine, and I'm not sure how optimized it is on console yet, because I'm not a tech person. I know they've said that they probably wouldn't put this on Switch because of tech reasons and just demand reasons. Plus all the legions of people sort of harassing them over it. But here is a little bit of an obstacle course. Again, having the Fast Hatter badge, I think, is what it's called, definitely makes your life easier here. For a variety of reasons. But if you do this, you get a Rift token and a shortcut if the button prompt would have shown up a little bit sooner. This opens up that, so we don't need to actually do the interiors, the first interior section. We can go straight to this room, and there's a ladder, so yeah, we can actually skip a little bit if we need to backtrack. Why would you want to, though, is the question. All of these levels are so big and platform challenge heavy that I would highly recommend trying to get everything in one go. And if you see like a piece of yarn, try to get it. If you see like a rift token, try to get it. Because coming back here is not fun. Just FYI. This is so Song of Storms, and I think it's the meter. It kind of sounds... It kind of is like a minor key Song of Storms. That's... Ow. That will respawn you. Some drops will here. Which is both nice and frustrating if you actually do want to drop down sometimes. Okay. Do we need to go up? This place gets disorienting extremely fast, by the way. It's so big. That one yarn I don't think we can actually get yet, so we're gonna move forward. Probably not what they intended, but we can just drop down here like this. Time hat, which we already have. Yeah, this is just a really cool level. But also, yeah, kinda on the difficult side, so this is why I always do this one first, because it's the longest and the hardest of all of them. So yeah, this might take another video, and then we can probably do the lava one, because that was actually pretty short. It's just sort of a little side thing to pad out the length of that video. So this is a little puzzle. We have to actually extend these platforms in a way that we can actually progress. It's actually really clever. Gotta do another under the great jump. It's always fun. Oh shoot. Luckily we got respawned right where we need to be. Jumped the gun on that one. Literally jumped in this case. Break this for just items, no collectibles, cool. But the sense of scale is what I really like about this. Because it does have a really intimidating sense of scale to it. Gotta kinda do a little wall jump there. Oh shoot. I almost flew off the edge. Platformers are interesting to me because you have to develop, and this is gonna sound a little bit weird, but you have to develop a certain sense of nimbleness with platformers. Like, just for, in terms of movements. Like, I know a lot of times speedrunners, like, can't play games in, like, cold environments because you have to have your hands warmed up to a certain degree. So loose and able to make precise sudden movements, and that's why I can never be a speedrunner, because I am not precise in video games. I tried, I don't know if I'm cut out for it, I want to get back into it, but just, I'm a little bit torn on the game, because I was doing Super Mario 64, but I think I might bail on that, actually. If I had the PC version of Hand in Time, I'd actually consider doing that, because just, that's where the community is. It's not really in the console versions, to my knowledge, for the community. Hey, I could be world record holder on PS4, because no one runs that. Yeah, this is very Song of Storms, and again, it's because the rhythm is in sets of 3s instead of 2s. That's a big part of it. That's what a waltz is, and that's kind of style of Song of Storms. Now, this is the part where I always get a little tripped up. I always get a little lost here, because I always forget that there's this little section right here that leads higher up into the thing. So what I did on my first playthrough was rather interesting. I ended up doing really weird wall jumps. I ended up getting between the wall and the gear, and I ended up wall jumping all the way up. So I didn't do like the little outside room thing. That's legitimately how I did it, and that is absolutely not how it's intended to be done. But I managed, so cool. I still have the video of it, because there's a share button on PlayStation. So, we're almost to the top, actually. This is actually a pretty smooth run. Don't have too much more to go. Depth perception on the little sandbags kind of throws me off a little, but not too bad. So we gotta wait till there's another one of these little platforms like that and ride this up. Wall jump here, or wall run there. And there we go. Ooh, camera. You still with me? But look, we have number 32, so that means we have 8 more to go. Let's see, math. There's... Okay, that's ominous. There's a few more here, and then the time rifts for this place, and then the final level. But luckily for us, they kick us back to the beginning. I didn't remember they did that, so that's rather nice. So to actually trigger a time rift, because there's a time rift attached, I think, to the old windmill, you actually have to back out and come back. And if we go there, then I don't know if I can guarantee the actual time rift will be there. So we're not actually going to do the time rift, though. We're just going to end it here, and next time we will be... Well, actually, I'm going to quit out and restart, so the time rift will be properly spawned. And I will most likely try... Let's go Twilight Bell. That sounds like a plan. Kind of go, Okay, so you arrive here. So if you arrive here, then you're going clockwise, I think. Facing this direction, we'd be going clockwise, because windmill's over there, Twilight Bell's over there. So yeah, I think clockwise through here. So then the bird cage, and then the lava place last. So yeah, that's the basic ETA for this level. So, yep, this... Wait, where is it? I think it's actually at the top. It's the highest up one. And this one heavily uses the Dweller's Mask, hence why it's coded green, which is actually pretty clever. How some of them actually do use masks that can't correspond, like we had to use Ice Hat a couple times in the blue area. But yeah, this is the path to the Twilight Bell, which is where we're heading next. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you join me next time for more A Hat in Time.